Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Pits of Motor Chaos. This is your host, Dave. I got online with me special guest, driver of the Capitol Punishment Nitro Funny Car, Tony Jurado, and crew chief, Jason Bunker. How you guys doing tonight?
Doing okay, Dan. Thanks for having us on.
A little louder, guys.
Yeah, we're doing well. Thanks for having us on.
No problem. So now, guys, how long has this funny car been around now?
Well, the funny car was started about a year and a half ago, and it actually was finished, and it sat for a few months before we got things going. So it's taken a full year and a half to get the car where it is. And it was done in a few short months, so it's been a long time planning, and it came together pretty quick once we got rolling on it.
So now, question for you, Tony. How long have you been drag racing?
I've been racing for about eight and a half years. I started in about 2010. Started with one of my street cars, actually. 69 Camaro. It was basically a show car. It was a beautiful car. And decided to take it out to Sacramento and take it down the track. And it went real well. I enjoyed it. And in January of 2010, we took it out to a race. And I don't know, past half track or so, 3/4 way down, the motor gave up, put the fluid down on, I hit the wall, Sacramento, put the car on the roof, slid for a wave, and that was kind of my introduction to drag racing. It was probably a third or fourth time out. So at that point, I didn't even know what to say. It was crazy.
So what made you get into drag racing in the first place?
I'm sorry, Dave, I couldn't hear you.
I said, what made you get into drag racing in the first place?
You know what? I've always been a fan of racing. My dad was a fan of drag racing. We're always street car guys. Always wanted to do it. I had the opportunity. And just went out with a couple of friends and got going. And after I wrecked that car, I went out and bought a 66 Chevelle 607 in it and went A-gas racing. That was in 2011, I believe, and 12. And I had a really good time. We did good with the car. It was a lot of fun. And decided to move up. Out here on the West Coast, we have an organization called Punisment. They had a 7.0 class, and they had an A-gas 760 class. They had a 7.0 class that turned to a 690 class. So I went out and bought sold the Chevelle and went out and bought a 69 Camaro Wally street car, 762-inch Sunny Lemon motor. We went out and ran that class for a couple of years. And did well and had a really good time with it. And the car count started getting bad. The organization kind of gave up. So I was stuck with that car with really nowhere to run it unless I wanted to run top sports or some kind of bracket race, which I didn't want to do, and that got me into the pro mods. So I ended up selling that car, Camaro, ended up with the 57 Chevy, G-Force Pro mod, put a Brad motor in it, and I've been running that car for 6 years.
Now, how did you meet up with Jason Bunker?
Jason and I have known each other since Dad shop up in Sacramento, Folsom. And I actually ended up buying a Pro Mod motor. And Jason has been out the track with other Grand Pro models. So I've known Jason for a long time. I know and when I got the funny car going, it just seemed very interested. We ended up getting together, making it happen.
So Jason, how long have you been involved in drag racing?
I've been involved in drag racing pretty much since I was a kid. I grew up in it. My grandfather and my dad both were in the sport. My grandpa raced forever with started out with a blown Chevrolet and a 55 Chevy up in the Sacramento area, ran around Sacramento Raceway, Redding, Orville, Baylands, all those areas, growing up in the 60s, 70s, and 80s. And then when the Pro Mod movement kind of started in the 80s, they turned the 55 into a Pro Mod car and continued that. My dad and Chris Alston built the 55 into a Pro Mod car. And I was born right about that time and kind of grew up at the racetrack running around and evolved from there, I guess you could say.
Now, is Tony the first funny car you've been a crew member for?
No, I worked with Mark Metters for almost 10 years with his Pro Mod car for the first 7.5, 8 years, and then built a Nostalgia Nitro funny car the last 2 years. I raced with him and ran that up and down the West Coast, and got involved with Tony. I think it was about April of this year, March, April, somewhere around there, and spent some time going over what he had for a car. Like he said, I've known Tony a long time, and I knew what he had. The same gentleman that built Mark's funny car built Tony's funny car, so I saw it, and I saw the progress on it, and saw what was going on with it throughout that build process. When my time with Mark was done, Tony had a good operation, and thankful I got the opportunity to go racing with him.
So now, besides you being a crew chief, who are the other crew members on the team?
We've got. Did you ask who?
Yeah, who are the other crew members?
We've got Mike Arnrich does the cylinder head. We have Chris Balance does the clutch. Jerry Woods does the clutch. We have Jeff Vacation doing a cylinder head. Man, I'm blanking on everybody else. We had Jack Kelly, who came over was a part of Tony's Pro Mod team. Kenny Stewart, who was from Tony's Pro Mod team. All those guys came on over, and we've assembled a pretty good program. Good group of guys, people who really care, do a good job, pay attention, and we have a really, really good time.
Now, do you guys have sponsors for the funny car?
Well, yeah, me. Tony Jurado and Capitol Punisment. Yeah, I funded the whole thing on my own, and would love to get a sponsor, but I haven't pursued it. I wanted to do it on my own, and we're all set up and running now. Of course, I wouldn't turn it down, but I'm not out there, trying to find one aggressively. With this year coming up, 2019, we want to run more races, and we would appreciate anything we can get, obviously. But there are no sponsors on board right now except for my company, which, it's been a great asset. Been fortunate, blessed to be able to go racing, first of all, and then not to have to worry about the money so much anymore. It's just huge. But, with 8 or 10 guys on a fuel team, and we're going to be traveling, to Washington, to Tucson, all over the West Coast, maybe more, it would be great to get some help. But right now, the answer is no help.
So you're running with the United Nitro funny cars?
We're in the process of joining them, and yes, we are planning on running with them, and some Heritage. Waiting for the full schedule to come out. I think it's close. we actually called a team meeting today, December 16th. We sit down in front of the calendar, try to figure out what races we're going to run. I'm hoping to run 6 or 7 races if all goes well. But when we started this thing, our deal was no stress. Can't make it, and this can't be done. We're not going to go crazy beating ourselves up over it. Kind of the attitude we've had building the car. It's been amazing. These guys show up at the shop, and I can't say enough how lucky I am to have the group of guys that I have. All those guys that Jason talked about are incredible. They're passionate. We have a group text amongst us. That text is going every day. This winter session is killing everybody. Everybody wants to get back out there, get after it. We have some changes coming to the car, changing a few things. We're really excited. And as a driver, I am just itching to get back in the seat.
Now, do you guys plan to run the March meet?
Yes, we will be there.
Yeah. And now, how many events did you say you're looking to run next year total?
Well, 6 or 7, I would like to. I don't know if that's going to be possible. Everybody has lives. And, that's why on December 16th, we're all going to sit down around a table, try to figure out when and where we're going to race. As soon as we figure that out, we'll post it and start making plans.
Got it. So now, Tony, way back when you started racing, who was inspirational to you? Any drivers out there that were inspirational to you way back when, Tony?
You know what? I can't really say that I have any inspirational drivers. It's strange for me because you have to understand where I came from. I'm 55 years old. I didn't get into a race car until I was 46. So in the last 8 years, or 45, I think I got the car. In the last 8 years,
I'm losing you, Tony. You're breaking up. There you are.
I've met some drivers, Reunion, Ron Capitol Punisment, Bruce Petragon, all came up to me and talked to me about the car. And Ron was really nice. Got into my head about the driving part of it. The switch from pro mod to the fuel car. I mean, it was really a big deal for me. So those guys I look up to. Anybody driving a big show, funny car. They're my heroes. That's the bottom line.
Now, do you think you'd ever get into the big show funny car racing?
Well, I'd be lying if I said I didn't want to. I definitely want to at some point. I don't know how, when, how, or why. I just going one step at a time. It's happened so fast. Only being in a couple of these classes for a couple of years. Pro mod, these guys have been racing there for 15, 20 years. Really good racing. And I've jumped classes all the time. So, yeah, the ultimate goal is definitely to get a big show car at some point. At least getting licensed and trying because, it's something that I want to do. But there's no thought in the near future of that at all. I want to get into my car right now and go out and learn how to drive it better. And, and just have a good time with the group of friends that I have. These guys are my friends, and the camaraderie is incredible, and we have good chemistry. And it's all good. I know it's all new, but there's something different about it. And I'm just really excited about the whole thing.
Now, Jason, what do you got to say about it?
As far as a group of guys we have assembled on this thing, they're some of the best guys I've ever been around racing wise. some of the best friends I've got personally away from the racetrack. I forgot a guy earlier, and I feel horrible. Billy Ferreira.
Oh, poor Billy. Sorry, Billy.
Been racing with Billy forever, and I cannot believe I forgot him. But I've been with Billy for 10 years, and he was over with Mark's car, and he's helping us out tremendously on this thing. So, I mean, these 7-8 guys are, they make it worth it. They make it fun. They make it exciting. You go out there, laugh, smile, joke, and try to put on a show on the racetrack and go out there and do the best we can. And I think Tony's got 8 runs now in the funny car total, and I think we've come out and shown people this isn't a car to take lightly. So I think we go out there, we're gonna go testing beginning of the year, get ready for next season, and if everything works out, we can go to those 6-7 races Tony talked about. It should be a great 2019 for us overall.
So what was the quickest ET you guys had with this funny car?
I went 579 at the reunion. That put us 11th. We ended up we raced Jason Rupert first round and lost to his 563, which was low ET of the race. But overall good debut. Glowing reviews of the car. I think it was shocking to people that they had no idea this car was even built. It was kind of built quietly. Tony wanted it, not on the internet, not on social media, and we went about and did that. I think we showed up and held our own against some of the best in the country.
Yeah, I know Bobby Cottrell was on fire this year.
Yeah, Bobby and Bucky had just about as good a year as you could possibly have. They're good guys, and track record speaks for itself.
Yeah, maybe you guys will give them a run for their money.
One step at a time.
Yeah. So now.
We'll take it one day at a time for sure.
So how did the name Capitol Punishment come about?
That's a good story. The name of I own a glazing contracting business in the San Francisco Bay Area. The name of the company is Capitol Glass. And when we were trying to come up with a name for the pro mod, a bunch of my employees came in and looked at me and said, "You know what? We have a great idea. You should call that car Capitol Punishment." And I was looking at him and I was like, "Wow, where'd that come from? That's a great name." Well, it can be punishing working for you, they told me.
That's awesome.
It's a true story, and it's a good story. And I had it on the Pro Mod, and the Pro Mod and the Funny Car painted very similar, the black with the purple flames. And I was going to change it all and put a different name on it, and I just decided that I really liked it. And more than that, when I told people that I was going to change the paint job and the name, a lot of people came up to me and said, "Don't do it. We love it. It's a great looking car. We love the paint on it." So I had others convince me not to change it up. And I'm glad. I mean, Doug Reed took the car and painted it and did a fabulous job. I think we went testing, 3 weeks before the reunion?
Yeah, it's 3 weeks.
I left for vacation. I just dropped the car off the reg. He said, "Doug, I need it in 2 weeks." He called me like in a week and a half, the car was done. Incredible, and a beautiful job. I can't say enough. It was a big deal to us, and it was like a whirlwind, the whole thing. It went so fast, and then the funny thing is that it ended just as fast as it started, with that being the last race. Now we're all sitting around staring at each other.
A lot of downtime now.
Yeah, I have to agree though. The car does look beautiful.
Well, thank you.
And that's my wife's 2 favorite colors, black and purple.
Oh, there you go. Perfect.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Hey, Jason, why don't you talk about some of the people that helped us build the car and the companies involved?
Yeah, so we've got, I guess first you got to talk to the guy that built the car itself. Keith Lowry, everyone knows him as Pie. He's in just outside of St. Louis, Missouri, and I think he knocked it dead on this one. I think from my standpoint, my eyes, I mean, the thing works like a dream. Reacts to changes like a dream. I mean, the thing's obviously beautiful. The attention to detail in this car is fantastic. I mean, we had Chris Pedregon in our pit area at the reunion, he stopped by and he brought his girlfriend and her friend, and he was floored. He said, "This is the most badass car in the whole facility." And that's a guy that races up and down all over the country, 24 races a year, and professional, and that was pretty cool for him to say. And when your fellow competitors come up and start talking about how great a car looks and how small stuff, how brackets look, and how things are mounted, and I really think Pi did a killer job on this thing. I mean, Tony drives it. I mean, he could probably vouch for how smooth it is, how basically easy, I guess you could say it is. If you can really say that about a nitro funny car, but since day one, this thing's been awesome, and I think first bit of credit goes to him. PRC Fabrication's the name of the company, and he's been great since day one. CP Carrillo helped us out with rods and pistons on this deal. Paul Sorley at Manly's been a big supporter of this, helped us out along the way. The guys at Brad Anderson's been very, very helpful. Redline Oil stepped up, helped us out. Kit over there has been fantastic over the years. I've worked with her for a while, and she came on board to help out a little bit with Tony's car, and anything helps along the way. Ronnie Nunes, who is kind of a unheralded guy for us. He's I think a lot of people know the name Ronnie Nunes from A-Gas Racing, AA Supercharged Racing. He's got a '63 Corvette, longtime drag racer. He's in the Pleasanton, Livermore area where Tony's shop is. He basically, any bracketry, anything we needed done over the course of the final part of the build, he was there every step of the way and spent a lot of time, took care of us really well, and he stops by the shop on his way home anytime we're there to see if we need anything or just to hang out. I mean, he's a great guy, great asset, great friend. Other than that, I mean, as he said, Doug Reed did a fantastic job on the paint job. When you try to match a car that Tony had prior, which was a 57, and you try to duplicate that, that's not an easy thing to do, to bring a wow factor back to it. But he did a killer job on A, doing it quickly, and B, doing it to the nines as far as getting it done nicely. So thanks to Doug, he's a good friend.
APT, Rob Moore.
Yep. Got to take care of Rob Moore for sure. Rob's been helping out. Helped Tony out for a long time, good friend of ours. Some transmission stuff at the reunion. Got to thank him for some quick fixes on a couple small items, and looking forward to racing with Rob some more. I mean, he's got a Pro Mod car himself. He's got, I think most guys have seen it, it's black Impala, big old screw blower hanging out the hood. Frankenstein is what the thing's followed after, I guess you call it. And he's a long-time racer and a good supporter of anybody in drag racing.
Matt and Rob are really, really good people, and I'm proud to be their friends and appreciate everything they've done. Seems like we're in their heads on a regular basis.
Yeah, no doubt about that. So, other than that, I mean, those are the guys that really helped us out along the way as far as getting the car done.
Safety, Ben.
Oh, forgot about Big Ben. Yeah, I forgot about Big Ben. Shoot, I'm forgetting everybody tonight.
Go right through the car and think about it.
Yeah, no, that's true. Big Ben helped us out, getting stuff handled quickly right away, making some alterations to parts and pieces that didn't fit necessarily. Ben's always a good guy. When you need to protect somebody, you protect yourself, or any of that kind of stuff. DJ Safety's always been really good.
So you guys get all the safety stuff from DJ Safety?
Yeah.
Dennis Taylor too. Justin.
Yeah, true. Dennis and Justin Taylor.
So Tony, let me ask you this question: what was the experience like jumping in a funny car for the first time?
It was really cool. I didn't know what to expect. After driving the Pro Mod for quite a while, the biggest thing about the fuel car is just firing it up and warming it up and pulling the pump on, and when that thing starts cackling, I mean, you're sitting there and it's just overwhelming. It's a little different driving the car, staging the car, the burnout. It's got the slip clutch, and the Pro Mod I had to convert, or so it's a different process. But I got to tell you, man, it went so smooth. It surprised me. I mean, the car just handled perfectly. Just trying to figure out, sitting in the car in my Pro Mod, I'm sitting straight up driving it. In this car, I'm tall, I'm 6'3", and the cage could only be built so high with the Victory body. And so basically, Ron Williams, when we called him, he goes, Tony, you just got to bend over and get in the car and just deal with the being uncomfortable. And believe it or not, after one run, I was comfortable. The car's, the fuel car leaves a little softer. The Pro Mods leave hard, and they tend to get a little wild right out of the get-go. This car, as the clutch comes in, then you start feeling stuff. As my first pass, I'll never forget it. When the clutch came in, I thought the tires busted loose. I thought the car was shaking, so I got out of it. When I got back to the pits, Jason just shaking his head, looking at me, going, "Dude, that's the clutch coming in. You need to drive through that." So I went right back out there. We did it again, and sure enough, bam, right down the track. So down on the big end's a little different. The car's a little looser down there. Still trying to get comfortable with that, but I have no runs in it. I have just a few runs in, and it's a great experience. And like I said, I can't wait to get back in this car. Yeah, I mean, I want to get out there and go testing, but you got to travel, so it makes it tough. But the transition was pretty easy. I'm really comfortable. I'm ready to go, man. I just need to learn how to get off the starting line in this car. That's going to be a little bit of a process, but I think a few more passes I'll get better. But yeah, it's a lot of fun.
So what kind of Pro Mod did you used to drive, Tony?
It was a 57 Chevy, G-Force build, an older car, built like 04, 05. It had a Brad motor in it. And it was a good car. It was a great experience. Pro Mod was great. I mean, I haven't sold the car. It's still in my shop. I walk by it and just shake my head. I'm like, I don't know what to do with it. I love the car. I'm personally attached to it. And I'm not that type either. I mean, I've had a whole bunch of street cars, and I have several show cars now and hot rods. And I'm having trouble putting that car up for sale, even though I say it's for sale. But at some point, it's kind of just going to be in the way. So I don't know. It's covered up and it's pretty and it's sitting there, so I'm not sure what to do.
You don't have any kids or grandkids to drive that thing?
Well, that's funny. I do. I have 3 children, 27, 24, and 22. 2 boys are the oldest. They're all out of college and working. And I bought a 63 Nova D-gas car, 1060 car, for one of my sons to go out and try it, and he's just never really gotten into it. So that car's sitting there also. My kids are, not into racing. I've never had the family support. Nobody in my family came from racing. I'm the first one. My wife comes and supports me, and it petrifies her. She's scared to watch, so it's tough. Yeah, my story's a little different than everybody else. I have no family support at all. They'll come out and watch, but they're not feeling too good about it. It scares them.
That's crazy.
It sure is.
So now, what goes into preparation for you guys to get this funny car, ready for a weekend of racing?
Well, I'm sorry, I didn't hear that.
I said, what goes into preparation for you guys to get the funny car ready for a weekend of racing?
Jason, that's all you.
We go to the racetrack. We carry 2 motors, 2 short blocks ready to go. We got a couple sets of heads, assembling rods and pistons. We try to carry at least 3 racks with us when we're ready to go racing. Clutch packs, try to bring enough clutch packs to get to the weekend. We put a clutch in every run, so carrying the parts and pieces to do that. Basically, it's just time, time prior to going to the racetrack, getting it all ready. We've got a good group of guys where I would say almost all of them spend time after work on weekdays, on weekends, making racing as easy to go to as possible. We spend our own time, and it pays off big time when you go to the racetrack and you don't have a lot of work to do. You show up prepared, you show up ready to race, and usually that's the way to have the best results. So pretty much
we do service the car every pass. The racks come out, get put aside.
What was that? I didn't hear you.
I was just telling them about pulling the racks out every pass and checking them.
Yeah, no, I mean, that's every run, come back, heads come off, rack comes out, new rack goes in. The rack that came out, we serviced it. If it needs some rings or if it needs pistons or, whatever it's going to need to get it back in running order, basically cycle that back into order, and, we carry 3 of them ready to go. It's every race, so you just kind of play a revolving door of putting parts in it, but every run the heads come off, every run clutch comes out of it, new clutch goes in it, new rack goes in it, heads go back on it. It's a complete teardown. And as far as the guys, I mean, we've been able to turn this thing in 50 minutes, 55 minutes to get it ready to go. Just having fun, taking our time, doing it right, making sure everything's done correctly. And like I said, that's just a credit to the team, credit to the guys that put this thing together and spend the time to do it right and care about it. You know what I mean? That's the hard thing to do. Is you got a lot of people out there that want to race and just talk about it. They want to act like they've been there and done that. And we got a good group of guys who actually genuinely want to be there and do it for the right reasons. So makes it easy.
Yeah, that's awesome. Now, Tony, throughout your racing career so far, have you reached any milestones?
Not really. Won a few races in A-Gas, run a few races in the 690 class. Made it to a few finals in Promont, never closed the deal. Always seem to go rounds wherever we go. It's a whole package though. Some of the other cars that I've had, if you really want to be successful, you really want to take this thing seriously, you have to go out and buy the best stuff. If you're battling, old beat up parts and an older car, and I've been there and I've done all that. That's the difference with this car. This car, I wanted everything new. I didn't want to start with any old parts. Some people won't agree with me. I can get that, but that's what I wanted to do, especially in a fuel car. I believe in it, and the commitment has been made, and that's what Jason jumped on board. He saw the commitment. I told him I want to go out there, be competitive, and if we win, we win. If we don't, we don't. We want to have a good time, and I want to be competitive, and I want to get all the right parts. And I've had help along the way doing that, and the team is incredible. It's just these guys are tearing the motor apart. They're laughing and joking. Everybody's having a good time. I mean, you don't see that. If you go into a lot of these pits, it looks like work, flat out work. These guys all get along and have a good time and have fun. And that's what it's all about with me. I'm out here to have fun. At the racetrack, I don't have to answer my phone. I don't have to answer any business calls. I don't have employees calling me. I shut it off, and it's our time to have fun, and that's what I love about racing. I tell everybody, the minute I get in the ring and start driving over that, I feel like a new person. I feel young, younger. It's crazy. I don't know how to describe it, other than it keeps me going. I want to race. I love racing. I just, it's just indescribable. I don't know. I'm sure the other racers know what I'm talking about. It's a happy place. I love it.
Now during the off season, you guys plan to do any changes to the funny car at all?
A couple small ones, nothing major, nothing that No, I mean, just little things to improve the car. That's basically what we're doing right now. Nothing that want to divulge. So, but yeah, things still continue on. You know, we had a pretty decent baseline. Saw some areas where we could be a little better, and kind of exploiting those areas now. So yeah, we're making some changes. Some parts are showing up here and there, and like Tony said, we've got a day here in a couple weeks. We're all going to get together and sit down and talk about next year and start planning as far as going testing. It looks like we're going to try to go test in Phoenix into January, beginning of February. Between now and then, I'm going to the PRI show next week for some business stuff for work. A little bit of business for this, a little bit of business on another car I work on. Continue from there. So just a busy off season. Realistically, it sounds like there's a bunch of time till the end of January, but at the end of the day, it's about 7 or 8 weeks away, and we got to be ready to go. So we'll fill that time well and go from there.
All right, so now, Tony, throughout your drag racing career, have you had any accidents or close calls at all?
Yeah, the third time out in my first car. I was telling you earlier, I came out in a street car that we made a track car and put it in the wall, flipped it upside down, and totaled a brand new car. Well, not a brand new car. It was a '69 Camaro with a big block Chevy in it, but fluids came out of the motor and put me into the wall and Sacramento Raceway, and I was up on the side going down the wall and flipped it on the roof, and wrecked the car right off the bat. And since then, I've had a few brushes, nothing major. Kind of learned that if the car doesn't leave straight and it starts taking you out of the groove, that you should get out of it. So I made a promise to myself that I would like to race another day. So I'm trying not to do anything foolish, and there's always another race day. That's what you got to remember.
So, Tony, what would you consider to be the fondest memory so far of your drag racing career?
Probably breaking the 5-second barrier when we got the pro mod to run in the fives. That was a big deal for me. Winning races is winning races. You win some, you lose some. More about being out there at the track for me. Winning comes, that's great. I don't expect it. All I do is work hard and get everybody around me to work hard. And I know that when you put in 100% on things, good things happen. I've lived that already, and hopefully we'll be successful.
Now, do you have a most embarrassing moment on the racetrack?
I don't know. I don't think so. Maybe in the reunion last year in the final against Jeremy Hanger, my chutes didn't come out. Ended up, 230 miles an hour into the sand pit. Kind of embarrassing, but if you drive these cars long enough, that's going to happen. It happened to me twice before in my 690 Camaro. The chutes come out, wrap the wheelie bar, and away you go. Hold on. But other than that, nothing sticks out in my mind. No, it's pretty steady, I think.
All right.
I wish I had a good story for you, but I don't.
All right. Now I'm gonna ask you guys a couple of fun questions here. Do you guys have hobbies outside of drag racing?
Who's that for?
Either one of you, both of you.
I like to golf. I'm a golfer. I live on a golf course, and I'm a member of the club here, and I play golf a lot. Golf is the most challenging game there is out there. It's brutal, and I love it, and I'm passionate about it, and hopefully I'll be able to get out there with some of these racers and play golf soon. And that's pretty much it for me. Golf and racing, hot rodding. I mean, I drive my cars. Brizio 32 Roadster, Roy Brizio built up here in the Bay Area. He's a big builder, and I have a couple cars built by South City Rod and Custom by Bill Ganall. A 40 convertible, 40 Ford convertible, and a 57 Chevy. All been in the Grand National Roadster Show, all won their classes, and so I drive the hot rods a lot and go on events and rod runs when I can. With racing, it's pretty tough nowadays, but that's pretty much it for me. Vacation. My wife loves to go on vacation. We just went to Europe in September, and we have a place down in Palm Desert that we go to all the time. We were just there for Thanksgiving and South Lake Tahoe, so we like to go and travel, and that's it for me.
How about you, Jason?
Yeah, no, golf is one that's I like to partake a little bit of golf. Tony and I get to every once in a while. I grew up playing baseball as a kid, all through high school and beginning part of college, and so baseball's a big passion. Big into sports, whether it's going to sporting events, basketball games, football games, whatever. Spend a lot of time with my wife and kids. My wife and I, we've got 4 kids, so we've been married 11 years now. Actually, the reunion was my anniversary. Saturday at the reunion is my anniversary, so that's always kind of fun.
I feel really bad about that, by the way.
Yeah, that's all right. So yeah, spending time with wife and kids. My wife likes to travel. I mean, we don't travel all over the world, but getting out and about. She loves camping, so we go camping quite a bit. Just family stuff with the kids. My kids are into sports. My daughter just finished volleyball. My son plays baseball. Really good little athlete. Our youngest is 3, so we've got a busy house.
All right, so both of you guys, what's your favorite food to eat?
Oh God, I like everything. That's the problem. Nothing like a good steak.
Yeah, good steak, pizza. That's my other one. I like pizza.
I like Chinese food.
Now,
Pretty much anything you can eat is what I'm liking. I guess the easier thing to say is what do I not like? Fish is about the only thing I don't like. So.
Now, do both of you guys, your wives cook?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, absolutely. My wife cooks. My wife loves to bake. I guess you could say she's more of a baker, but she loves to cook as well.
So
she likes to entertain, so that's always good. That means there's always good food around.
So what's the favorite dish that your wives make?
Ooh. Let me think about this.
That's a tough one too.
Oh yeah, let me think about this for a moment here. Oh man, you're putting me on the spot. This is horrible. I don't know why it's not listening. I don't know. She's good at anything. I mean, desserts. She's an awesome cake maker. I don't know, any of that kind of stuff. I really don't dislike anything she makes, although that could be just because we've been together so long and she doesn't make anything I don't like, so that works too.
Well, I've been married 31 years. I've been with my wife 40 years. So if you do the math, we got together at 15 years old in high school, and we raised 3 kids, and we sat down at the dinner table every night, and we ate dinner as a family, and we believed in that, and whatever she cooked was delicious. How's that?
Well,
that's about as diplomatic as they get.
Well, you guys know they say the way to the man's heart is through the stomach, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It masks all kinds of things.
So what's your guys' favorite beverage to drink?
Well, what are we talking
about? It could be non-alcoholic and alcoholic. Both questions.
Dr. Pepper. That's me. I'm Dr. Pepper guy.
Oh, I stalked Dr. Pepper in the coach and the shop for Jason. My wife, now, if she goes shopping, she brings home Dr. Pepper just for Jason. It's hilarious.
Oh, that's funny.
I drink water all day, and then, try to stay away from the sodas. But my favorite beverage is a nice vodka martini.
You drink alcohol, Jason?
No, I'm gonna plead the fifth on that one.
All right. So, what's your guys' favorite music to listen to?
Ooh, I like all types of music except for country.
And I'm gonna have to say country.
I swear to God, I just can never get all my kids are into country. My wife, I just have a hard time. I'm a 70s, 80s rock and roll guy from way back. I love classic rock.